Welcome back. Coming up September 23rd at the Kamloops United Church, an event called Storyfest. Traveling from Kelowna to be with us today to talk to about it, we have Ralph Milton, who has published somewhere around 20 books, has a background in journalism, and is here to tell us about Storyfest. Thanks for being here.
Thank you.
All right, so what is Storyfest all about?
Storyfest is about making sense of our lives. It's about using the stories that come to us out of the past and the present, the stories of that come out of our own lives, connecting them with ancient stories, biblical and otherwise, and using the creative side of our energies as one of the ways of making sense and living creative, full lives. We spend so much time being logical that we often forget that the stuff that really gets down into your belly is the story. The logic is necessary and useful, but it's like the rudder and sail. You have a sail that pushes you along, and you have a rudder that steers you. If you only have a rudder, you don't go anywhere. If you only have a sail, you're going to wind up on the rocks. So you need both logic and emotion and art and story to live a creative life.
So tell me how this will go. People come to the church in the morning. There will be a group of people. How will that go? What happens?
Well, first of all, we'll start with some stories, and we will take one story. We're going to start with the old Adam and Eve story. You know, the Garden of Eden. Poor Eve in that story has been so misused.
She got a bad rap.
Oh, she did, and she is the hero of that story, in my opinion at least. Well, we're going to tell that story as it's in the Bible, and it'll sort of like be variations on a theme like Beethoven. You take one story and then you play with it and you play with it, and then we'll have people talking about their own stories and how they connect, and it's going to be kind of messy, actually.
But good messy.
Oh, it'll be fun, yeah.
And at the end of all of this, you're going to produce several half-hour specials that will air on YouTube. How does that work? Well,
we've got a film crew coming, or film, I guess it's video now, but three cameras and a couple of audio people, and we'll be recording the whole thing, and then I'm going to spend hours and hours editing, and we'll come up with 9 half-hour shows, which will be kind of instructional. There'll also be a book out of this. We're going to publish a book probably called The Gift of Story, but that's not for sure yet.
Okay.
That will be a resource to people all over the English-speaking world.
So anyone who wants to take part in this, Ralph, shouldn't be afraid to be on camera, because they're going to be a part of something that's a little bit more than just coming to the event.
Absolutely. The very first thing we do is to say, hey, look, folks, this is... But because we've got 3 hours, we're going to boil down to half an hour. If somebody has told a story that they suddenly realize, oh my gosh, I can't, we can chop it out. It's not a problem.
So who would this be of interest to? Who do you think would really enjoy coming to this event the most?
I think probably people in their middle ages who suddenly have been realizing that climbing up the old anthill isn't quite as much fun as it seems to be, and doesn't offer the rewards, that there's got to be something more to life than simply getting a bigger paycheck and spending more money at Walmart. There's got to be something more, something spiritual.
It sounds very interesting.
Yeah, I hope it will be.
Yeah. So, if people want to sign up, how can they do that? I know brownpapertickets.com, is that the best way?
That's one way. They could phone the church office if they want to. This, by the way, is just step one in a 3-step thing. There's going to be another event in Summerland a month from now, and a third one in Kamloops, in November.
So that's not not the only one. Yeah.
No, different stories in each case, but the same basic format.
Yeah.
And people can go to all of them if they want.
Sure, they can follow it around. Yeah. It sounds something that I've never heard before, but it sounds very interesting and thought-provoking. So good for you for getting it started.
Thank you.
Is this the first time you've done this?
This sort of thing, yes, but not the first time I've told stories.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm a storyteller.
You're a storyteller.
That's me. That's what you are doing.
I know,
too,
I know. Takes one to know one, right?
Well, you're helping me tell my story, and you help these Indigenous people tell stories just a few moments ago.
Exactly. Ralph, very interesting. Thank you for being here today to tell us about Storyfest. Again, this is happening September 23rd at Kamloops United Church. You can get tickets at brownpapertickets.com. That's on the screen. Just search for Storyfest. Once you get there, it sounds very thought-provoking. Shouldn't be missed. We're back after a quick break. Stay with us.